Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Mike Downer. Thanks for joining us once again on Roots to Renovation. I am here with Jody Peterson, founder, CEO, and president of Peterson Roofing, along with his son, Ryan, COO of Peterson Roofing. How are we doing today, gentlemen?
Doing great.
Doing great.
So, you guys have been doing this for a minute. You know, you've seen one or two roofs in your life, I think. So I know that you know kind of what's going on in this business. Kind of seen it all, to be honest with you. But today we're going to be talking about what myths do people believe about roofing contractors. So I know that there's some conceptions that people have that may or may not be true. So I'm going to shoot this at either one of you guys. Either one of you can answer this one. So what are the most common misconceptions about roofing replacement and hiring a contractor that lead homeowners into making bad decisions?
Want me to take first?
Yeah,
you
go
can probably.
first.
I probably won't catch everything, but probably the first thing I think about is most myths that people believe is a roof is a roof. You know, it's like going to the grocery store and picking up a bag of apples. You get one bag of apples, Gala apples, and this bag of Gala apples. They're the same. Doesn't matter which bag you pick up. Total misconception. The truth is, it makes a big difference on the quality of the shingle and the quality of the installation, how often you've done it, how fast you get the job done. It's a huge myth that a roof is a roof.
Right. And the thing is that people still believe these myths. You know, we've been doing it for 45 years, but these are the problems that come up, cost people so much money down the road. And, it's funny because it's like some people, maybe they get it early. Maybe they've had a bad experience and they learn it. But these myths are still out there. So if you can learn what's true and what's a myth, this could really save you a lot of money in the long run.
Okay, so you were talking about saving money in the long run. What can choosing the cheapest roofing bid end up costing a homeowner? Why is that going to cost them more in the long run if they take the cheapest guy out there?
Yeah. You probably have a story on this one, Ryan, if you want to.
Yeah, I've got more than one, but
Yeah.
we got one here about a guy that traded a boat for a roof.
What?
And had problems. Imagine that, right? And so he's telling me this story. He's like, I will never do that again. That was not a good decision.
Was it? Tell me at least it was a really nice boat, like a yacht or something.
I would imagine it's a pretty big roof, but it's a long list of things that are wrong with the roof. Wore out way early, needed to be replaced. That's just one story.
That has to be. So let's get into the reason why choosing the cheapest guy could end up costing you a lot more in the long run.
Cheapest guy. Let's say you have a minor problem. You could have a major problem, minor problem. You call the guy you hired who was the cheapest bidder.
Yep.
Where's he at now? He's gone. You know why? He couldn't afford to stay in business because he worked too cheap.
Okay, that's one reason.
That's one reason. So you have to pay what the good price, so that if you do need any service with us, you're probably not ever going to need it. You're probably not ever going to have a reason to call us back. But if you have to call us back, we're going to be here for you. And one reason is we charge the proper amount, so we can pay employees the proper wages to do the proper installation. We can have all our insurances, which aren't cheap. We can maintain our equipment. We can maintain our storage facilities. These things cost money, and a roof is not just a roof. And the number one factor why is pricing. Really, if you think a cheap roof is going to be as good as a roof that costs what it should cost, that's a big myth. It's a big fallacy. So you'll pay in the long run. Trust me, I've seen it.
Yeah. So you were talking about this. So what makes one roofing contractor different from another, and why does experience and local reputation matter? And I know this one goes straight to your core values.
I'll tell you another story here about why it's not a commodity. Okay, so there's somebody that we know, and I guess really back before we knew him, had multiple people come bid his house, right? Old, house, very complicated. And our bid was not the cheapest. So I think he went with maybe not the cheapest, but a significantly cheaper one. Older home with a brick chimney. Well, some rains come. Holy cow, it's leaking like crazy. There's water running down the chimney. It's ruining things inside. He called
After the new roof goes on.
After the new roof. Yeah, put the new roof on. So what's going on with this chimney and the flashing, right? Well, at least the contractor answered the phone and came back, or maybe he didn't come back. All I know is story was, well, sorry, that's just how it goes. Like whatever got ruined inside and all that stuff. And that ended up costing some more money, right? Where he wouldn't have had, number one, the money, but number two, the stress involved with all of that. When we do a roof, it's not just apples and apples, right? It's you're making sure that the flashings are all right. You're not going to be stressed out, stuff getting ruined. So no, it's important. But we just talked about this in an episode. Like all the shingles are the same. No, they're not. But also the people putting them on are not all the same. It is not a commodity. You get what you pay for.
Let me interject because you were talking money, right? Roof's a roof. Cheap roof's the same as a roof that costs what it should cost. A lot of these guys, and this is completely different than us, will want a down payment, sometimes half. Let's say you got an average roof, $20,000 roof, and you want $10,000 down. I hear stories all the time. Took my down payment, haven't seen him again. He went to the bar. He's in jail. My money's gone. I can't get it back. I got a lawyer involved. Well, doesn't matter. If the guy has nothing, you're not getting anything back. You're just out $10,000. We don't ask for any money down. We make sure that roof is on. You've inspected it. Inspector from the city has looked at it. We've inspected it. Everything's up to your standards, our standards, the city's standards before we get our payment at the end. That's how much we trust the workmanship and the quality of the shingle that we're putting on your roof. We ask for nothing down, wait till everybody's satisfied, and then we send you the bill and we get paid.
That says mountains about your company.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, monuments. That's amazing. So is it true that homeowners only need to replace their roof once it starts leaking? I think that's another myth that you guys would like to bust.
Right. Yeah, I would say that's a bad idea. You don't want it to start leaking and ruining stuff underneath, all of the decking and maybe the structure itself. That seems like a crazy myth. I don't know, but maybe somebody believes that. You definitely want to replace it before you start having more expensive damage that you need to fix. I mean, maybe you get a bunch of mold or something too. All kinds of things could happen. So definitely stay on top of it. Get that roof replaced before it's totally worn out. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
No, that makes sense. So when you're talking about roofs getting worn out and getting it replaced, so let me ask you this. So when it comes to that point, when does patching a roof stop making sense compared to replacing it?
Financially, you're throwing good money after bad. If you're constantly repairing and you're patching something, so let's say you're patching it just to get by for 2 or 3 years and you've spent $2,000 or $3,000 repairing it, you could have taken that $2,000 or $3,000 and put a new roof on and saved all that money and have peace of mind for the next 40 to 50 years. So that's when it doesn't make sense, when the cost factor outweighs what you're actually getting. And repairs, generally, you're just pushing it down the road until, you got to pay the piper eventually. If you've got a roof you're trying to string along that should be replaced, you might as well go ahead and replace it.
As a general rule, I know you guys have talked about this, and in one of our earlier episodes where you have said that, yes, a repair absolutely makes sense. When these start showing up, how often, I mean, I know it's different on every roof, but as a general rule, if you're getting it repaired every 2 years, every year, when does that tipping point, in your opinion, matter? I know you talked about the money factor, but just so that in someone's head they go, if I'm getting replaced every year, it's time. Or when is that tipping point?
It'd be age. If you had a roof that's on there and it's just wearing out, shingles are blowing off here and there, and you keep patching them back in, and your flashings are all wearing out, and you're just patching it up, and it's an older roof, really, it makes no sense. If it's a newer roof, and just routine maintenance, yeah, you go ahead and do that to make it last the 40, 50 years that it should last. So
Right.
yeah.
Maybe you need a repair and then your roof can last another 10 years or so, you know.
Sure.
Gotcha. So what are the biggest misconceptions homeowners have about metal roofing?
Ooh, okay, yeah. Metal roof. Well, what can we say about metal roofs?
Well, they're noisy. Some people
Go
say
ahead,
they're
Jody.
noisy.
You're
They
smiling.
can
You
be
got something.
I would think it depends the noise. I don't have a metal roof, so I can't say I've lived with it. I don't know if I've stayed in metal roof houses, but do you think it's that noisy with the insulation and everything in there?
I think it's probably was a factor in the past, and now with new underlayments and different things, you can take care of that. I have heard people talk about noise, and like we mentioned in another podcast, cell phone reception.
Oh yeah.
Could be a little bit weak, but honestly, in our area, metal roofs, we put them on. Not a big deal at this point, though. And I would think maybe it would go more to that as people worry more about being green and not having to tear off asphalt shingles and throw them in the dump. You're using landfill space, where a metal roof, generally, it's going to last a long time, and as long as you don't want to change and update the looks of your house, that and the metal roof's great. But that's the problem with the metal roof. It's got a particular look. It's going to look different than the rest of the houses in your neighborhood. You're going to be the oddball probably. That's why people generally don't do it. It's different. And you say you go to sell your house, and people come in and go, "Why does this house look different than every other house? Something's weird here."
I think the main reason they don't do it is just because of how much it costs.
It's a cost factor as well.
More.
And we talked about the same though. I mean, you get 50-year warranty on metal roof, 50-year warranty on an asphalt roof, and they'll go, "Why am I paying double or triple for a metal roof when the warranty is the same?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, metal it's going to hold up longer than an asphalt roof, but it's going to hailstorm. It's going to dent. You get small hail, it'll dent. I mean, you've got pros and cons to both. But metal typically is just a better product than asphalt. But the price, is it worth the price difference? If it's not going to be on your house 100 years, someone will probably want to change it out. The next owner might want to change it out. Doesn't like the looks of it. Well, this is a 100-year roof. It's going to last 100 years. I don't like it. Let's get rid of it. So that's all that money. Just you threw it away.
Perfect. Well, that cleared that up pretty quickly. So, you guys were talking about hail damage. So let's get into this one. Why doesn't insurance automatically cover every storm damaged roof?
Oh, yes. Things have changed dramatically in the last few years. So it's not as simple as it was years ago where, I got hail damage. It's very easy, quick. I know that my coverage is going to take care of a new roof. Holy cow, that is different now. So your deductibles are crazy now. It used to be $500, whole new roof, and then maybe it was $1,000. Now you're looking at percentage-based deductibles, and there are exclusions in claims, and we've talked about this before, Mike, in other podcasts. It's because of the way the roofing and storm restoration industry has gone in the last few years. So now insurance companies are circling the wagons and changing policies as they need them, because they're not going to lose money. So in fact, a roof I was just on, homeowner, we did this roof not that long ago, got hit with really big hail, and she thought she had a Cadillac plan, right? Because she had some problems a few years ago with water in her basement. She's like, I don't want to deal with that again. I'm going to make sure I have a good policy. And so she thought she had a $500 deductible. I meet with the adjuster. He's like, yeah, boy, this is totaled, needs a new roof. But just to let you know, she has a metal exclusion in her policy. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that changes things a little bit. Anyway, she gets back to me after getting the claim paperwork. Guess what? It was not a $500 deductible. It was $9,000. So big surprise there. It's not a simple situation anymore. It really comes down to the policy, and you get what you pay for. I'm sure that's the case with insurance, like it is with us.
There's insurance for deductibles now, which I think we've talked about before too, because the deductibles are, if it's $9,000, you can get insurance that helps pay your deductible. I feel sorry for this customer. Her roof was not that old and another hailstorm went through, and now she's got to pay $9,000 if she wants to get that roof done. And if she doesn't do it, well, that's a check mark against her if she ever goes to sell. I believe insurance companies now keep track of who has put a roof on and who has not, and you can actually lose your coverage if you don't replace it.
That is true. That is true. I went through something similar about 5 years ago. So stupid tree was hitting our roof, and anyway, we won't get into that. You guys have probably seen it all and done it all, and so all right, guys, let's kind of wind this one up with our last myth about calling a roofer. So, why is it better to call a roofer early instead of waiting until several problems show up? And I know the homeowner wants to save money, and if you just don't look at it and ostrich yourself or bury your head in the sand, it goes away. But eventually you've got several problems and you call the roofer. And why is it better to actually call them early than wait for all those problems to show up?
Going to be more expensive if you wait. And I mean, honestly, how many homeowners think about their roof? I mean, it's not something you wake up going, I wonder if my roof's okay today. You hardly ever think about it. The only time you might think about it is if you see a little spot on the ceiling, or
if you host a podcast about roofs.
Yes.
So, but if you do spot something and you go, maybe it's just a coincidence, there's really nothing wrong, but you go ahead and call us, because the longer you wait, you're going to have, if it is a leak of some sort, you're going to have wood damage. I mean, you can get into structural damage, rafters, drywall, you name it. And then it can be a big expense, where if you catch it early, it's just, repair the roof or replace the roof, and no additional expenses.
All right, Ryan, I know this is your time to shine. Come on, buddy. I know you got a story of somebody who waited way too long and you had to replace way too much stuff in their house.
Oh,
hit me.
What? Let me think. I know I probably have a million of those. What's the first one that's coming to mind?
Well, we did one earlier this year that the guy waited too long, and he ended up having to put plywood over the whole entire roof out little town out south of here. And where if he would have done it at the proper time, I mean, you probably didn't require new plywood. And part of that problem was ventilation issues. So that's what rotted out the wood. So if we would have seen this problem, maybe, who knows, 10 years ago, we could have put vents in and extended
Changed
the life of the roof.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, if you wait, if you think there's a problem, any inkling of a problem at all, it's no cost to you, nothing out of your pockets. Just have us come out, look around, and warn you of what impending trouble could be coming down the road.
Nice.
Right.
No, that's awesome advice, guys. Well, today we played a little Mythbusters, and it was kind of fun. I love hearing the stories. I have learned not to trade vehicles for roofs. So if any of you were thinking about trading a vehicle for a roof, don't do it. Just call these guys, and they don't take boats for payments. That's all I'm saying. Or maybe they do. I don't know. They can talk to you about that.
Depends, right?
Depends on how nice the boat is. Well, guys,
it's
it's always fun talking to you guys, and I look forward to talking to you here in a week or so.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Good
Mike.
talking,
All right.
Mike.
Take care, guys.